7:11 at WIBX. Today's front page of the Sports, the Observer Dispatch. Full page shows the progression where it started at Proctor, then on to Ohio State, and, of course, New Orleans for Will Smith, who, of course, passed away over the weekend after being shot in what seems to be just a senseless roadside shooting. Really terrible. His high school football coach, Jerry Fiorini, on the line here right now. Jerry, thanks so much for coming on the radio. And,
no problem, Bill. How are you doing today?
Just a tragedy here. And what a guy, Will Smith.
He was a super kid, and it is sad that his life's taken so early. He was a great dad, great role model, great husband. It's just a sad day for everybody.
And Ron Mosher talks about in the OD that he doesn't know that he'll ever be able to cover another player like Will Smith.
And he probably won't. And it's a shame. Ron's been such an integral part of Will's life, throughout his career. And, I really talked to Ron yesterday. He was really broken up. I feel terrible for him. Will was one of the guys that he brought down to the draft with him, when it first all started. And, my heart goes out to Ron, too.
Yeah. And of course the family. We'll get into more on the on what happened and what they're trying to really figure out what happened, but just seems to be just senseless. One thing that Ron talks about, and we'll speak with Ron coming up later in the hour, but is that Will did not forget where he came from.
Oh, absolutely not. Will always wanted to come back to the area, whether it was helping out with football camps. We ran numerous camps with him. And he would come back and he would bring players from the States with him to come back to his hometown to help the kids out. Joe Dunbar spent a lot of time here. He'd bring coaches. Tony Oden was the defensive back coach at the time. He came back for 2 years in a row to coach our kids over here. And, like I said in the paper, he never asked kids for a dime. It was everything was free. He wanted to make it so everybody could have an opportunity to play the sport he loved.
Yeah. And what was it like? I mean, when you, here you see this NFL player that you see the most recent photos when he was playing with New Orleans, and then a brief, very short stint with the Patriots. But what was it like as a kid when you first met Will Smith?
Well, like I said, when he played junior high football, he was real skinny and tall, and he had these big glasses on. And, Coach Fletty and Coach Fulio took him under their wing and, really developed him as a football player, from the junior high level right out. And, he really didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
Until, especially Coach Fletty really, took him by the wing and developed him into the kind of player he was all through high school. But I use the phrase Urkel, because his glasses were so big on his head
right, yeah.
at the time. And, he just grew into his body and, turned into a man in front of our eyes.
And at what point did you know that Will was really something special?
Well, Coach Fletty always uses the story about when he was in junior high and, he was trying to get Will how to understand the concept of the game. He says, just find the guy with the ball, take the ball from the guy and run into the end zone. And on the next play, that's exactly what he did. And,
wow.
Coach Fletty, he uses that story constantly, and it's the one that always sticks out in my mind. And, we knew he'd be coachable, and obviously he was.
Yeah. And I would ask you, for current players and for current kids, what kind of an inspiration has he been and will he be for these young kids coming up?
The whole biggest part of our Where There's a Will, Where There's a Way Foundation is, to bring notoriety to Mohawk Valley football, to honor the guys around here who may not get the press that they deserve. And, through Ron Mosher, we offer that, we want those guys to come back and share their message from college and things like that. And, this week was supposed to be the dinner for Will.
Yeah.
And I think we're leaning on canceling it, not canceling, but pushing it back in order to get some of those guys back here, to
Yeah.
To really make a nice celebration of it.
Yeah, I mean, for those that don't know, the dinner, which this is a program the OD puts together, the dinner was going to be this Thursday night, and Will Smith was going to be here in town for that.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know.
He comes in every year for it, regardless of the situation. He never wants to let these kids down, and, you know, I got out of coaching a couple of years ago, and he said, we're still doing the dinner, and obviously we're going to keep on going as long as we can. You know, we want to keep the foundation going and Will's name alive.
All right. Well, that I mean, it's something that people will be thinking about, and so the fact that there's a good chance that that's going to be postponed, so that
we're looking to move it back maybe a month or so we can get more. You know, we want to get more people there and you know, really promote it as a bigger event.
All right.
You know.
Well, listen. Here's a young guy that his life will go on and continue to do good things based on everything that he did when he was here, and I think that says a lot about a person. It's your legacy, and Will Smith certainly has that.
He definitely has one around you.
Yeah. All right, Coach Jerry Fiorini, and I know
appreciate it, Bill.
Tough for you, but we appreciate you taking the time this morning.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, we'll break at 7:18. Here's Christine with an update on everything else going on out there right now. Good morning.